What is up, guys? It is the beginning of this 2,000 point battle report between the Salamanders and the Celestial Suns. On this side, you've got two tactical squads with rhinos. You've got some of those, I want to say they're breachers. We'll go with that. And then you've got a command squad, a chaplain, and some terminators. And all the way over here, we've got the gooiness that is a deredeo, a leviathan, and a Spartan land raider. And on my side, I've got 5 cataphractii terminators with Thunderhammers and stormsheilds, 5 with lightning claws, 10-man tactical squad, 10-man tactical squad, Commander Oros. I've got a psyker dreadnought, and these 3 are all going to be just contemptor dreadnoughts, powefist, plasma gun, and a sword. And lastly, we've got the Catan of the FormSeeker.
And a storm wolf.
And a storm wolf. But that's going to be used over here. So you can see this epic battle between Gersh 1's orcs and Jamie McJames faces Space Wolves.
That's nobody's name.
Alright guys, before turn 1, here's the setup. I got my Catan hiding behind that pillar. 1 dreadnought, tactical squad, other dreadnought, my lightning claws dreadnought. My captain is in this squad of terminators, and then some more troops. On the other side, he's got the leviathan. You got troops in that one, right?
Yeah.
And then you got a you said that squad was what?
Devastators with lascannon.
Devastator, lascannons, and you got the deredeo in the middle. This squad has that rhino has what? Stern guard in there, and then tactical and the Spartan. It is big guns never tire. Here's 1. There's 1 in the middle there. 2, 3, 4, and the last one is way over here. So turn 1. Let's see what happens. That is the end of the first turn for the Salamanders. Devastating. His Spartan shot his lascannons into my contemptor dreadnought that I had there, penetrated him, went through my shields, and he blew up. Now he blew up pretty big. He hit literally everything right here, but luckily they all passed their saves, so they're good. Moving on over here, his Marines in the back took shots and didn't do anything. His deredeo fired his missiles. I believe that's what it was. Missiles at the tag squad, and they took 1 guy out. And over here I lost 3, count them, 1, 2, 3 dreadnought, or not dreadnoughts, cataphractii, all thanks to the deredeo. So it sucks, but hopefully I can retaliate. Celestial Suns, turn 1. Alright, it is the end of turn 1. My Celestial Suns moved up. Everything moved up. I just said that! My Catan fired his antimatter meteor and killed 3 of his guys. By the way, that objective over there gave it a +1 to cover, so that's why only 2 died. And then this fired, took a hull point off of that rhino. These guys fired over here, took a hull point off of that rhino. My commander tried to use his psychic powers, parried the first time, but luckily I rolled a 1, so we didn't get sucked into the warp because I rolled his leadership. So I tried to go for his second psychic power, parried once again, but this time he became all super. So I almost died, but then I got really beefed up. The dice. And then, like I said, everything else just moved up. Over here, I did fire into these guys in the back, and I ended up killing 3. So on to turn 2. Currently it is Salamanders 2 for first blood and for killing that contemptor. So 2-0. That is the end of turn 2 for the Salamanders. His Spartan moved up and dropped his payload of firedrakes, but they failed their charge with the 3, so that was good for me. These guys over here, they're stern guard. They dropped out and unloaded their guns into him. Thankfully, his shield blocked all of them, but the Spartan fired 2 of them went through, penetrated me, immobilized me, and brought me down to just 1 hull point left. Moving on over here, he disassembled my Terminators with his deredeo. And that's pretty much it. On to Celestial Suns, turn 2.
Pay attention, please.
It's the end of turn 2 for the Celestial Suns. Once again, my commander perils and he hurt himself. And not just that, but he also lost his solar bolt orbs. So there's no chance of him regaining those wounds back. Basically everything else moved up. I tried to blow up that rhino. Couldn't do anything to it. These guys just got behind cover. Moving on over here is where all the action happened. My tactical squad unleashed a barrage of fire against the firedrakes. Nothing happened. They got all their saves. My Catan tried to fire at these guys, but he got times arrow and only ended up killing 1 tactical squad. My psychic dreadnought killed 2 guys with his electroshock power, and then he killed the rest of them with his kheres assault gun. Oh, and this other dreadnought with the sword also killed 1 of them. So the Stern Guard are gone. That is finally 1 point to the Celestial Suns, and it is still 2 for Salamanders, 2 for Salamanders, 1 for the Suns. On to turn 3. It is the end of the Salamander turn 3. Quite epic for the Salamanders. His Spartan shot into my Contemptor over there and killed it. Blew it up, actually. And then his Fire Drakes charged my Catan and they blew him up. His Necrodermis exploded and it took 2 wounds off of his Salamander Drake squad. He's still alive over here. Over here, his guys got out of the Rhino and fired the multi-melta into my Contemptor, but he missed. And then the Leviathan tried to charge, but nothing happened. The deredeo fired into my Terminator squad, and I believe nothing happened there. So before we were keeping track of kill points, but we forgot that's not the type of game type that we're playing. So we won't find out until the end of the game who actually wins. So let's go on to bottom of turn 3 for the Suns. End of turn 3 for the Suns. I fired everything, psychic powers and kheres assault, into this squad here, putting a bunch of wounds. And I believe it was my tactical squad that wounded him enough to kill his warlord. So I got a warlord kill right there. Going over here, my Thunderhammer Terminators charged his Leviathan Dreadnought. He did 3 wounds to me, which I saved, and I wrecked him. Luckily the explosion didn't do much, so I just consolidated forward. Over here, Oros and the Contemptor charged into his tactical squad. 2 guys left. They fell back, but they didn't do any wounds to me. So it's looking pretty good. Turn 4, let's see what happens. End of turn 4 for the Salamanders. My tactical squad got charged. I did have a power weapon, so I did take 1 wound on his fire drakes, and then they crushed me. Finally, that Spartan killed my immobilized, 1 wounded Contemptor, but he did work, so that's good. Moving over here, he took a shot with the deredeo and put 1 wound on my Contemptor, and that is it. On to Celestial Suns, turn 4. Ooh, what's up guys? It's the bottom of turn 1.5, aka turn 4. Basically, the Salamanders have control of that side, and I pretty much have control over here. He's got a pen. Basically, the main thing is my Terminators over here destroy that unit, and they will have Line Breaker, but so will the Salamanders over there. Contemptor Dreadnought moved forward, didn't do anything. Oros charged the 2 remaining guys, but they stood their ground. No wounds dealt on either side. On to the last turn, Salamander turn 5. And we are at the end of the game. Turn 5 is where it ended, so let's see what happened. So over here, The Salamanders have that objective. The Fire Drakes have that objective. Oros has that objective. And the Suns have that objective.
Also, Space Wolves lost.
Space Wolves lost against Gersh's orcs. So, alright, so it is the end of the game, end of turn 5. The Salamanders had 1 objective, 2 objective, First Blood, and Linebreaker, making it a total of 4. Yeah, you took them away, but they had that objective over there. The Drakes got that objective, and that's the Linebreaker over here, plus First Blood. So that's 4 for Salamanders.
Oh yeah, he did.
The Suns have 1 right here, 2 right there, 3 right there, 4 with the Linebreaker, and I did kill his Warlord. Celestial Suns have won the game 5-4.